Hi guys, welcome to the Fight Edge channel. The H heavyweight from Great Britain Dereck Chisora believes that Anthony Joshua is able to get even with Alexander Usyk for last year's defeat. I think AJ will win the second fight. When I spoke to him, I asked if he had watched that fight, and he said he had only seen 4 rounds because he didn't like the way he boxed. Then I asked him what he was going to do in the rematch, to which he replied, "You will see." At the same time, Chisora not only believes in Joshua's success in the rematch with Usyk, but also puts his friend on victory in a duel with the current WBC champion, Tyson Fury. I will choose AJ. He has incredible impact power. If AJ gets into a fight with Fury, he immediately has to fart at him, throwing power punches. He can't box with him. If he does this, he will lose. If you let Fury work as number 1, then you will have problems, Chisora summed up. The WBC IBF light heavyweight world champion Artur Beterbiev said that he was not going to make loud statements about a possible fight against the holder of the WBA, WBO and IBF titles in the heavyweight division, Alexander Usyk. According to Beterbiev, he wanted to get a fight with Usyk when he combined the titles in the first heavyweight, but in the end, then the Ukrainian fought with Tony Bellew. When he was the undisputed champion in the first heavyweight division, we had a conversation with Eddie Hearn. I had talks with Top Rank and with Matchroom. I, being the IBF champion, told Eddie Hearn, if he gives me a fight with Usyk within a year, then I'm going. Dan took 1 or 2 weeks to think about it, and then they answered, no. Beterbiev said in an interview. As the Russian boxer noted, he no longer wants to talk about the potential fight with Usyk, so that it would not be perceived as an attempt to hype on the name of a Ukrainian. If I say now that I would go out with him to box at his weight, it will look like I want a hype. And I don't want that. If they offer me a fight, we'll see what I will say to them. Now I'm not going to say that I want to box with him, otherwise my words will be cut out again, Beterbiev said. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You don't even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard absolutely every day and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Sergey Gorodnichev, an ex-member of the coaching staff of Vladimir Klitschko, believes that the legendary British heavyweight Lennox Lewis would have defeated the current holder of the WBA, WBO and IBF titles, Alexander Usyk. Lewis is a more powerful boxer than Joshua. I think he is more technical. I think he would have won on points. Lewis has a different technique. Lennox is not like a thinking boxer, he is more technical. A sense of striking distance, movement. It is very important to strike in time. Look at his fights, how he fought, plus character. If Joshua pooped, I apologize for the expression. Then remember Lewis' fight with Vitaly Klitschko. He showed such a character. If he felt that he was losing, do you think he would jump like that, striking with one right straight from afar and not hitting? Nonsense, honestly. It would have turned on. Of course, it would be interesting to see, but we won't see this fight anymore. So Lewis is a handsome man, Gorodnichev said. Absolute middleweight world champion Clarissa Shields said that she is impressed by the owner of the WBA, WBO and IBF titles in the heavyweight division, Alexander Usyk. Despite this, the American believes that the Ukrainian boxer will not be able to defeat the WBC champion Tyson Fury. I like Alexander Usyk as a champion. He is a great fighter, but despite that, he won't beat Tyson Fury. Fury not only has the skills, this guy also has the spirit. You can't buy this shit. Clarissa Shield wrote on her Twitter page. Alexander Usyk has repeatedly said that he is ready to fight with Fury for the title of Absolute World Champion. However, Anthony Joshua is on the way to this fight. To whom the Ukrainian is obliged to give a rematch after winning on points in their first fight, held in September last year. Former member of Vladimir Klitschko's coaching staff Sergei Gorodnichev claims that George Iago Kiladze dropped Alexander Usyk during sparring. According to the expert, the current WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight world champion missed a blow to the spleen at the beginning of the training match, after which their sparring was stopped. They sparred. Kiladze Usyk hit the spleen in the first or second round. And that's it. The fight was stopped. I pulled it out well. That was a fight, and then we boxed for 10 rounds. Of course, the beauties. Usyk missed the spleen, that's his weak spot. The right one is straight as a doll, Sergei Gorodnichev said in an interview. Gorodnichev also believed that no one can beat Usyk because his rivals are inferior to him in terms of footwork. Usyk cannot be defeated because no one works with him how to work properly against a lefty. The courts have weak legs. For everyone who loses to him, Usyk wins at the expense of the legs. There will be a boxer who will crush him, strangle him, not giving him space to move. Then he will not stand it. And that's it, then he will win. It is necessary to have the same legs. Although I think it was one of the hardest fights at Usyk. If Chisora had added more, he would have pushed more. Look how hard it was for him. It was obvious that he was wearing him out. And imagine that Fury is about to get involved in the work. He can cause Alexander big problems, Gorodnichev said. Bob Arums, a promoter of the WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, appealed to the mandatory challenger for the title of his ward, Dillian Whyte, urging him to sit down at a negotiating table. If Dillian wants to fight, he needs to stop messing around. He can get a good salary and prove that he is a world-class fighter in a fight with Fury. He would like to have this fight because it is a good event for the United Kingdom. Whyte has to sit down with me and Frank Warren at the table and agree on everything. Dillian needs to hear our offer and then we can put on a show. Only after our conversation we will understand if we can make a real deal. I know Dillian and I think he wants this fight. Let's let Anthony Joshua fight with Alexander Usyk and Dillian Whyte fight Tyson Fury, Arum said. The promoter of the British heavyweight Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn, believed that the WBC world champion Tyson Fury may give up his title in order not to conduct a mandatory defense with his ward. Judging by what I know, I don't believe that given the current legal situation with Dillian Whyte's lawsuit, Fury will fight without a WBC bout. I don't know. Tyson Fury can do whatever he wants. If Fury wants to vacate the title, then I assume he will be able to fight on March 26. I don't know if he wants to give up the title. The value is always to own a belt and become an absolute champion. I don't know why it takes so long to organize a fight with Whyte, because it is a natural and very cool fight for British boxing. It's a huge fight, Hearn said. Eddie Hearn also told when his ward, former world heavyweight champion Britain Anthony Joshua, will introduce a new coach. Anthony has been working hard all this time. Obviously, he flew to America for a reason, and after returning to the United Kingdom, he trained with different people. I think in late January or early February, we will find out the name of Joshua's new coach. I repeat, Anthony worked hard to get it right, Hearn said. The promoter also announced that Rob McCracken, the coach who worked with Anthony Joshua, will remain in Joshua's team. Rob will be involved in working with Anthony in some way. He is more than just Joshua's coach. McCracken is a mentor, advisor. These two will always be there. But I don't know yet how all this will be implemented, Hearn added. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.